And then I heard the voice of the Lord say, "This is the church." In this dream, I was in a house. It wasn't the current house that I live in or any house I've ever lived in. And people came to my house and they were eating. Everybody was coming to have food. And as we finished eating, I said to them, "Why don't we go for a walk?" And I remember the air feeling thick and humid. It was in a very affluent community. I knew it was affluent because the houses were beautiful. I knew it was a mature community because the trees, they were tall. They were trees that had been there for years. And we went out with all these people that were in my house. We went down the street and it was getting nighttime. The sun was setting, but the sky was clear. And I could feel the heat and the intensity of the humidity in the air. And as we walked down the middle of the street, all of a sudden I sensed something was coming. And I said to everyone, "Stop, something is coming. Look to the mountains." I could feel it. And everybody stopped and we looked. We know how big our Rocky Mountains are in this province. They're huge. They're beautiful. I saw the biggest wave that was more than the height of the Rocky Mountains come over those mountains. Huge waves. They must have been at least double the height of the Rocky Mountains. They made the Rocky Mountains look like pebbles. And a massive wave came over the Rocky Mountains and I recognized it's coming. It's coming. I knew I had less than 5 minutes. And I said, "We need to go back to the house and we need to go north. We need to run in the opposite direction of this wave that's about to hit." And everybody came back to the house. Within the 5 minutes, I was doing so much. I was loading people's cars up with food and supplies and filling their cars up and going, "Go up, go further." I was sending people that were saying, "I need to go get my family." And I said, "Don't go, you won't make it." But they said, "I have to go." And I said, "Okay, I'll load your cars up," knowing that a storm, a wave was about to overcome. It was going to take over. Within less than 5 minutes, I had loaded all these, hundreds of people that were in my house, loaded them up with stuff, and they were going. And as I was getting ready to leave, all of a sudden, they all started coming back. But they were coming back with their family that wasn't with them before. They were coming back with friends that weren't with them before. And they started to come into the house. And I was like, "No, we gotta go. This thing is about to hit." And I realized, well, we're gonna be safe in this house. I had a peace about where I was. I wasn't afraid. I knew that this house was gonna be safe. Right at that moment, as we're all standing there looking out this big bay window, watching the swaying of the trees, knowing this storm, this wave is gonna hit, a woman in the house beside us came out of her house in little short lingerie, very provocative, very sexy. And she had a tray of food that looked like pastries. And she was walking across the street to a man that was standing across the street in his driveway. And everybody in the house with me began yelling, "A storm is coming! Can't she feel it? She's in the wrong clothing. Doesn't she feel what's coming?" And she wasn't hearing it. And she turned, quickly took a look at us in the bay window and smiled. And we're all yelling, "A storm is coming!" And she was not having it. She was so consumed with her seductiveness. And then I heard the voice of the Lord say, "This is the church. She doesn't see the storm coming, and there will only be a few that will be held protected in this season. But the church has a spirit of Jezebel on it right now, and she's ignoring the signs. She's ignoring the signs." I'm afraid for the church because many are playing church, lukewarm, tapered in their relationship with God, who are serving God based on how they feel and their emotions, who are being swayed by every wind of doctrine, those that think that they're close to God, but they still don't hear God and go, "I can't hear him. I don't know what God wants from me. Maybe I can't hear him." You're not hearing him because you're too far from him. Maybe you can't hear him because something has separated you from him. Maybe unforgiveness, pride has even separated you from God. God's going, "You're not hearing me because you're not close to me." Because you know what? When the storm came and Peter stepped out of the boat, he still heard Jesus' voice. I don't care what storm you're in right now, you will hear his voice.